AI.
Yeah, and the reason is that right now we're seeing people their behavior being sporadic. It's hard to target. It's hard to we're still thinking a bit in a static state of mind about our customers. And the fact is that all the ideas of automation and the rules we want, we need something that can predict, that can grow on all the data we have. Right now, we're still seeing it with a very human perspective. And as data grows, we need something to actually be able to harness that.
AI. Where's AI going to be used most?
I would say, honestly, in the customer profile. It would be figuring out who's the valuable user. When should we contact them? How should we contact them? And what they're worth. And the big predictor here is how do we do this without if it's somebody we haven't touched before. So grabbing it with all our CRM data, but also growing it to growing our customer base.
I would say another area is data engineering in general, because I think we've heard it kind of around the table, is that there's a lot of data out there and everybody's kind of overwhelmed with data and they don't know exactly where to start and what to use. And I think there was some session today speaking about the data analyst or the data engineer and what's the role of those people within the organizations. And I think their role is going to become much more important, because it is about taking all this data and first of all making it available real time, making it reliable, making sure that the data because there's always questions around, is the data that I'm looking at correct? Is it right? Is it the full picture? Is the definition the correct one? And making that data constantly more and more relevant to decisions that we are taking on, where to navigate our businesses. I think that's going to be a huge area, will continue to be a huge area, and then comes in a lot of automation. So how do you take all this data that is available and you make it work for you instead of having to constantly manipulate it? And I think a good example is when you look at online marketing. Online marketing teams, that's a profession that hasn't existed 10, 15 years ago. And probably everybody here around the table has big online marketing teams. They're spending a lot of money in both acquisition, but also in people that are actually going and doing that. And I think there's a lot of work to be done around automating a lot of the ways that we do online marketing, but then in general, automating the way that we use data in our businesses.
What's really interesting is you've mentioned artificial intelligence as being that you want to invest in, and data engineering as the other one, as another one. And I would actually not make another one, but actually make the same one, which is what Google is doing right now, which is training any of their 40,000 data engineers into data scientists. So effectively the role of data engineer will evolve to data scientist, which is right now we have maybe pollution of data because we have too much and we don't know how to use it. But actually when we know how to use it, we can actually do a specific action to any given, 1 out of 10 million or 1 billion customers you have, and very specific. That's chatbots. But as well, you can use that to actually improve technology. So on A/B testing right now, you have a data engineer actually coding an A/B test. Think about a machine learning based way to translate business instructions to actually auto code the A/B test. Mm-hmm. So you could actually have machine learning coding your website to actually develop your tests and do multivariate tests and know how to settle it, and have the discipline that is really difficult to have right now being automated by machine learning algorithms. So data engineering and artificial intelligence are actually the same to me, or will come together to me, and that's exactly what Google is doing right now.
Yeah, so talking about the artificial intelligence, I especially believe in voice recognition and text parsing. So basically machine learning based customer approach, which is able to save a lot of costs of current standard customer support centers at the moment. So definitely artificial intelligence is the key.
I think the great thing about travel is that it is the first industry that actually went online, that went digital, and it's in the forefront of technology. So whatever is going to happen, as long as we stay in this industry, we will be lucky to be a part of it, because it is really leading the way in the sense of developing new technologies, developing new features, new capabilities. So So this is if we're talking about technology,
Yeah.
this is definitely a good industry to be in.
And hotel chains or hotel groups actually feel that OTAs are their threats or meta players are their threats. What we feel as OTAs is actually Google and Facebook are our threats, because it's all about innovation and the pace at which you can experiment and use a scientific method and innovate at scale. And that's the beauty of our category is it's the best place to innovate, but actually we have groups like Google that are just unprecedentedly funded that can innovate much faster than anyone else in the world.